What if I told you that on 10 September, with just 1 minute of your complete focus, you could trigger forces so powerful that even the impossible might manifest in your life? Sounds unbelievable, right? But stay with me, because what you're about to discover is not fantasy, not wishful thinking, but a synthesis of ancient wisdom, modern neuroscience, and the cutting-edge research of Dr. Joe Dispenza. Most people spend years chasing their dreams, working harder, pushing further, and yet feeling stuck. They assume transformation requires struggle, sweat, and long hours of effort. But what if the truth was the opposite? What if your greatest breakthroughs don't depend on how much effort you exert in the outer world, but on how deeply you can align your inner world, your mind, your emotions, your energy? For just 60 focused seconds, Dr. Joe Dispenza has spent decades researching this phenomenon. His work bridges the gap between quantum physics and neuroscience, showing us how thoughts are not just fleeting sparks in the brain, but real electrical signals, broadcast frequencies, that interact with the field of possibilities around us. When your thoughts carry clear intention and your emotions are elevated, gratitude, love, joy, they create a coherent electromagnetic field. In simple terms, your inner state broadcasts a signal strong enough to influence the reality you experience. Now, here's where the timing matters. You might be wondering, why 10 September? What makes this date special? The answer lies in the intersection of astrological alignment, energy cycles, and subconscious programming windows. Astrologically, early September is a period of transition. In many traditions, the 5th day of the 9th month carries the vibration of change and rebirth. The number 10 symbolizes transformation, while the number 9 represents completion and higher wisdom. Put them together, and you have a cosmic marker for endings that give way to new beginnings, a natural gateway for manifestation. Energetically, this period often coincides with a heightened collective frequency. Think of it like a tide. When the tide is high, even the smallest boat can sail further with little effort. In the same way, when the planetary energy is elevated, your 1 minute of focused intention rides a much stronger current, magnifying its effect. But there's another layer: subconscious programming. Neuroscience has shown that our subconscious mind, which drives more than 90% of our daily behaviors and beliefs, is most malleable at certain times. The start of September, for many, symbolizes new cycles, school years, seasons shifting, routines resetting. Our subconscious picks up on this sense of renewal, making it easier to break old patterns and install new ones. In other words, your mind is more open to transformation at this time. So when you combine Dr. Joe Dispenza's science of intention and elevated emotion, the cosmic alignment of 10 September as a transformation portal, and the subconscious window of programming that opens during seasonal shifts, you have a recipe for extraordinary manifestation. And the most beautiful part, it doesn't require hours of meditation, endless rituals, or complex techniques. Just 1 minute of pure, undistracted presence, where your heart and mind broadcast the same frequency of your deepest desire, is enough to plant a seed in the quantum field. This is why people who have practiced Dr. Dispenza's methods often describe sudden breakthroughs, healing from illnesses, attracting opportunities, or experiencing synchronicities they once thought impossible. It's not magic, it's alignment. It's the science of being in the right state at the right moment. And on 10 September, that window opens wide. So the only question left is this: will you let that 1 minute pass you by, or will you step into it with full awareness, ready to reprogram your life? When most people hear the phrase 1 minute manifestation, they roll their eyes. How can something as small as 60 seconds change a life? We're trained to believe that success, healing, and transformation require long hours of hard work, years of practice, or decades of sacrifice. But modern neuroscience tells a different story. It's not the amount of time that matters, it's the quality and intensity of focus within that time. Let's break this down step by step. At its core, your brain is not just an organ, it's an electrical and chemical powerhouse. Every thought you have is a measurable electrical signal firing across neural pathways. These signals are not isolated, they create ripple effects, forming patterns that shape how you feel, act, and perceive reality. When you think the same thoughts over and over again, "I'm not good enough, I'll never succeed, life is against me," you reinforce the same neural circuits. Neurons that fire together wire together. Over time, these pathways become highways in your brain, making it harder to think any differently. Now, here's the kicker. Your brain doesn't just store thoughts, it broadcasts them. Every electrical impulse generates a magnetic field. Multiply this by the trillions of neurons firing every second, and your brain literally becomes a transmitter, radiating energy beyond your skull into the quantum field of possibilities. But thoughts alone are not enough. As Dr. Joe Dispenza explains, a thought without an emotion is like an arrow without a bowstring. It might be sharp, but it has no power to travel. This is where emotions come in. Your heart is the strongest electromagnetic organ in your body, producing a field hundreds of times stronger than the brain. When you feel emotions like love, gratitude, joy, and wholeness, your heart's rhythm becomes coherent, smooth, and harmonious. When this emotional state aligns with your mental intention, the brain and heart work together to produce a unified, coherent signal. This is the essence of manifestation. A clear intention in the mind plus an elevated emotion in the heart. That combination is what creates a coherent state strong enough to influence reality. Most people spend hours every day lost in unfocused thought. They meditate distractedly, visualize while worrying about bills, or repeat affirmations while doubting themselves. The signal they broadcast is fragmented, like static on a radio station. But in neuroscience, there's a principle called focused attention. When you focus all your awareness on a single thought or image and fuel it with a genuine emotional charge, you create a surge of neural activity that is far stronger than hours of scattered thinking. Think of it like a magnifying glass. Sunlight spreads everywhere, but focus it through a lens, and suddenly it can ignite a flame in seconds. Your brain works the same way. A single minute of laser, focused coherence between thought and emotion, burns new pathways into the brain and imprints a powerful signal into the quantum field. This is why one true minute of manifestation is often more powerful than days of half-hearted effort. In his research, Dr. Joe Dispenza discovered that when people entered a state of mental intention paired with elevated emotion, their brain waves shifted dramatically. The brain moved from high beta waves stress, overthinking into alpha and theta states. The same frequencies linked to creativity, intuition, and reprogramming of the subconscious mind. Functional brain scans showed that the two hemispheres of the brain, usually firing chaotically, began to synchronize in harmony. This state is called neural coherence. At the same time, the heart rhythm shifted into coherence, creating a synchronized electromagnetic field measurable by instruments. In short, the body and mind began to behave as one unified broadcasting system. And here's the extraordinary part: it doesn't take hours of meditation to achieve this. Studies show that even a brief moment, 30 to 60 seconds, of sustained coherence can create measurable changes in brain and body chemistry. You don't have to take this on faith, science backs it up. Hebbian learning principle. Neuroscientist Donald Hebb famously said, "Neurons that fire together wire together." Even short bursts of simultaneous firing create new connections. A 1-minute focused, emotional, mental experience repeated daily can rapidly rewire brain circuits. HeartMath research. Studies from the HeartMath Institute found that 1 minute of heart-focused breathing combined with elevated emotions created measurable improvements in heart rate variability, stress hormones, and even immune function. Meditation studies. In controlled experiments, even short meditations of under 5 minutes showed reductions in amygdala activity fear center and increases in prefrontal cortex activity, decision-making, and clarity. Translation: a single concentrated moment can calm fear and increase focus. neuroplasticity windows. Neuroscience also shows that the brain is especially open to rewiring during intense moments of emotional focus. You don't need long duration, you need intensity. That's why one electrified minute of elevated emotion plus intention can be transformative. From the quantum perspective, time itself doesn't operate the way we think. What matters isn't how long you focus, but the frequency you emit while focusing. In the quantum field, frequencies interact instantly. A 1-minute coherent signal of gratitude for your desired future can ripple through the field more effectively than days of unfocused yearning. In other words, it's not about clock time, it's about energetic quality. So here's the truth: when you sit down on 10 September, you don't need to meditate for hours or chant affirmations endlessly. All you need is one authentic minute where your mind holds a clear vision and your heart pumps it full of elevated emotion. That minute alone can rewire your brain, shift your energy field, and send a powerful broadcast into the quantum field. The science is undeniable. It's not about quantity. It's about coherence. And 1 minute of true coherence can set in motion changes that ripple into every corner of your reality. Most people think of dates as just numbers on a calendar. But throughout history, certain days have carried energetic weight, moments when the veil between intention and reality grows thinner. And 10 September is one of those days. You might be asking, why this date? Why does 10 September matter more than any random day? The answer lies in the unique combination of numerology, neuroscience, collective consciousness, and ancient wisdom. Numbers are not just mathematical symbols, they carry vibrational signatures. Numerology has been studied for thousands of years, from Pythagoras in Greece to Vedic sages in India. The number 10 represents change, freedom, and transformation. It's the energy of breaking old cycles, stepping into new realities, and embracing growth. The number 9 symbolizes completion, awakening, and higher consciousness. It represents the end of a karmic cycle and the readiness for a new beginning. When combined, 10/9 September 10 creates a rare energetic code. The merging of transformation 10 with spiritual awakening 9. It's like a cosmic reset button, where you are invited to shed old patterns and step into alignment with a higher version of yourself. So when you set an intention on 10 September, you're not just wishing on a date. You're riding the vibrational current of universal change and completion. Now let's bring in the science. When you wake up in the morning, your brain naturally passes through a brainwave state, a window between sleep and full waking consciousness. This state is deeply tied to the subconscious mind, which is where your beliefs, habits, and emotional memories live. In theta, the critical, analytical mind is bypassed. Your subconscious becomes highly suggestible, like fertile soil waiting for seeds. This is the state where visualization, affirmations, and emotional intention sink in deepest. On 10 September, when the numerological and energetic currents are already primed for transformation, entering theta in the morning makes manifestation especially potent. It's like planting seeds during a rare cosmic springtime when the soil is unusually rich and ready to grow. That's why experts like Joe Dispenza emphasize meditation or visualization right after waking. One focused minute on 10 September morning can go deeper than hours of practice at other times. Another reason 10 September is so powerful lies in the collective field of consciousness. Think about it. When one person focuses their intention, it creates a small ripple in the quantum field. But when thousands or millions of people focus on the same date, the ripples merge into a wave. This is not just philosophy, it's measurable. The Global Consciousness Project at Princeton University has shown that collective human intention actually influences random number generators, machines designed to produce pure chance. During world events when large groups of people were focused together like New Year's Eve or major tragedies, these machines deviated from randomness as if consciousness itself was bending probability. So when thousands of people worldwide meditate, visualize, and manifest on 10 September, the effect isn't just personal, It's amplified by the collective. You're not just plugging into your own power, you're joining a shared frequency that makes manifestation exponentially stronger. The idea of special days is not new. Across cultures and spiritual traditions, humanity has always recognized cosmic windows of transformation. Vedic astrology, in Indian tradition, specific planetary alignments are considered muhurtas, or auspicious times when actions align with cosmic order. Early September often coincides with transitional lunar phases connected to renewal and clearing karma. Mystery schools of Egypt. Ancient Egyptians believed certain days acted as gateways when the stars, especially Sirius, aligned to bring higher wisdom. September was associated with the flooding of the Nile, symbolizing new beginnings and abundance. Celtic traditions, the Druids marked early September as a time of harvest festivals where intentions for the coming season were planted with ritual and ceremony. Mystical Christianity, numbers like 10 and 9 carry deep symbolic meaning, 10 as divine grace, 9 as spiritual completion. Saints and mystics often used these codes in prayers and rituals for breakthroughs. When you look across cultures, a pattern emerges. Early September has always been seen as a portal of change, alignment, and manifestation. Put it all together, and here's what makes this date unique. Numerology. 10 change plus 9 awakening equals transformational rebirth. Theta state. The morning brainwave window makes intentions sink deeper into the subconscious. Collective field. Millions of people tuning into the same energy magnify the effect. Ancient wisdom. Cultures across time recognized early September as a gateway of transformation. So when you dedicate just 1 minute on this date, especially in the morning, you're not just visualizing. You're aligning with the mathematics of the universe, the rhythm of your brain, the power of the collective, and the wisdom of the ancients. It's a moment when the ordinary rules bend, when manifestation accelerates, when what seemed impossible suddenly feels inevitable. 10 September isn't just another day, it's an energetic doorway, and all you need is 1 minute of true focus to step through it. Now that you understand the science behind manifestation and the cosmic significance of 10 September, it's time to dive into the practical part, the ritual itself. This is not just a casual wish-making routine. It is a carefully designed one. Minute practice that combines neuroscience, quantum physics, and ancient wisdom into a laser-focused manifestation method. Think of it as compressing hours of meditation, prayer, or visualization into a single, powerful burst. Like a beam of light narrowed into a laser, your focus in this 1 minute becomes exponentially more effective. Here's the breakdown of what to do and why each step works. First one, 110 seconds sacred breath, next 30 seconds quantum emotion, final 110 seconds release and trust. Each segment is not random. It follows the natural rhythm of the body, brain, and energy field. Let's go step by step. Close your eyes, take a slow, deep inhale, not just of air, but imagine you're breathing in golden light. As you exhale, see yourself releasing fear, doubt, and limitation. This is not symbolic, it is physiological and energetic. When you breathe deeply and slowly, especially into the diaphragm, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the branch of your body responsible for calm, safety, and healing. Within seconds, your brain begins shifting out of stress, driven beta waves into the more receptive alpha and theta states. Why is this important? Because if you try to manifest from stress, worry, or fear, your brain is broadcasting survival signals, not creation signals. Stress tells your body, I'm in danger, I need to survive now, not dream of the future. The sacred breath breaks that pattern instantly. Breathing golden light is an ancient technique found in yogic pranayama, Taoist alchemy, and mystical Christianity. Golden light symbolizes divine intelligence, healing, and abundance. When you inhale it, you are literally reprogramming your energy field with the frequency of wholeness and possibility. Exhaling fear is equally important. You cannot pour new wine into an old vessel. To receive abundance, you must first make space by letting go of the frequencies of lack, doubt, and fear. Don't just imagine the golden light, feel it. See it flooding every cell, washing away tension, and opening your body like a receiver tuning into a higher signal. That's your entry point. In 110 seconds, your body is calm, your subconscious is open, and your energy is aligned. Now comes the heart of the ritual, emotional immersion. Take the desire closest to your heart. It could be radiant health, financial abundance, deep love, creative success. Whatever it is, don't just picture it. Feel it as if it has already happened. Joe Dispenza often repeats, "The quantum field responds not to what we want, but to who we are being." In other words, manifestation is not about sending out weak thoughts. It's about broadcasting a strong electromagnetic signature into the field. Your thoughts send out the signal. Your emotions magnetize it back to you. When you vividly imagine your desire and feel gratitude and joy as if it's already real, your brain and body don't know the difference between the vision and reality. Neuroscience confirms this. When athletes visualize their sport in detail, the same brain regions light up as when they physically perform it. Similarly, when you feel gratitude for a desire that has not yet manifested, your brain begins wiring itself as though it already exists. That is why 30 seconds of pure, coherent emotion is more powerful than hours of distracted visualization. In spiritual traditions, this is known as praying from the end, or living in the wish fulfilled. Mystics across centuries, from Neville Goddard to ancient sages, have taught that the key is to embody the vibration of the outcome now. The universe mirrors who you are being. If you feel desperate, you attract more desperation. If you feel whole, grateful, and abundant, you attract circumstances that match those frequencies. See your life after your desire is fulfilled. Walk through it in your imagination. If you want love, imagine the warm touch of your partner's hand. If you want abundance, imagine opening your bank app and smiling. If you want health, imagine running with boundless energy, breathing freely. Flood the scene with gratitude, the emotion that signals to the universe, "I already have this, thank you." For 30 seconds, live inside this reality. Don't hope or wish, be. Now comes the paradoxical part. You've planted the seed. Now you must let it go. Take one more deep breath. On the exhale, surrender your vision into the infinite intelligence of the universe. Say silently or out loud an affirmation like, "It is already mine. I trust the process. So it is." Why is release important? Because holding on too tightly triggers the brain's survival circuits. Desperation broadcasts lack. When you cling, you signal that you don't yet have it, and the subconscious will mirror that reality. By releasing, you shift into coherence, your mind and body aligned with trust. This is when your heart's electromagnetic field expands and communicates most clearly with the quantum field. In ancient mystical teachings, release is the act of faith. Planting a seed in fertile soil means you don't dig it up every day to check on it. You water it, trust it, and allow it to grow. This surrender is not passive. It is powerful. You are saying to the universe, "I am aligned, I have spoken. I now step aside and allow the infinite to deliver in the best way possible." Anchor this release with one sentence that feels true to you. For example, "The universe always works in my favor. Abundance flows to me with ease. I am worthy, and it is done." This final declaration locks the frequency in your subconscious and in the quantum field. You may wonder, can 60 seconds really change anything? The answer is yes, if those 60 seconds are spent in absolute coherence. First 110 seconds, calm your body and open your subconscious. Next 30 seconds, program your brain and heart with the frequency of your desire. Final 110 seconds, broadcast the signal and release it into the field. This sequence compresses the essence of manifestation into a single, repeatable practice. Done on an energetically powerful date like 10 September, its effect multiplies. Although this ritual is highlighted for 10 September, you can practice it every day. Think of the date as a cosmic amplifier, but remember, the real power is not in the calendar, but in your state of being. Here are a few ways to deepen the practice. Morning practice, do it right after waking while still in theta state. Night practice, repeat before sleep to let your subconscious marinate in the vision overnight. Micro rituals, anytime during the day when you feel stressed, take 1 minute to realign. Over time, this 1-minute ritual rewires your brain, shifts your emotional baseline, and expands your energy field until manifestation becomes natural. On 10 September, set aside 1 sacred minute. Breathe in golden light, feel your dream as already real, release it with gratitude, and trust the universe. That single minute can ripple out into weeks, months, and years of transformation. Because when mind, body, and spirit align, even for just 60 seconds, the impossible becomes inevitable. Now that you know the 1-minute manifestation ritual, here's the truth. The ritual itself is only the ignition switch. The real transformation comes when you carry that energy into your daily life. Without consistency, the ritual becomes a one-time spark that fades. But with daily integration, it turns into a flame that rewires your brain, aligns your energy field, and magnetizes opportunities that match your desires. Most people believe manifestation requires long, intense hours of meditation, scripting, or affirmations. But neuroscience tells us otherwise. The brain doesn't change through occasional bursts of effort. It changes through consistent repetition. Neural pathways strengthen when a thought, emotion, or visualization is revisited daily. Think of it like going to the gym. Doing one heavy workout doesn't transform your body, but small, consistent sessions, done every day, reshape your muscles and endurance. In the same way, 1 minute daily beats 1 hour once a month. That's because daily practice keeps your subconscious trained, your emotions elevated, and your energy coherent. Dr. Joe Dispenza often says, the key is not just to meditate, but to live in the energy of your future throughout the day. After your 1-minute ritual, the challenge is to stay in alignment with the vibration you generated. If you visualized abundance but then spend the rest of your day complaining about money, you cancel the signal. If you visualized love but walk around in resentment, the frequency collapses. To make it work, keep the emotional state alive. If you felt joy, gratitude, or freedom during the ritual, remind yourself of that feeling when you walk, drive, or work. Use triggers. Anchor the vibration with small reminders, a bracelet, a lock screen image, or even a keyword you whisper to yourself when doubt arises. Shift quickly. The moment you feel stress, pause, breathe, and return to the end state, feeling you cultivated. This is what carrying the energy really means. Refusing to drop back into your old self and instead rehearsing your new self until it becomes natural. Once you begin living in alignment, you'll notice something strange. Life starts sending signals. These are called synchronicities, meaningful coincidences that confirm your frequency is working. Examples: you think about an opportunity, and suddenly someone calls with the exact connection you need. You imagine a financial breakthrough and randomly stumble upon a book, video, or mentor that guides you toward it. You feel aligned with love and notice people treating you with unusual kindness and openness. These are not accidents. In quantum terms, your energy field begins attracting experiences that resonate with it. But here's the key: you must acknowledge these signs. The more you celebrate synchronicities, the more you train your subconscious to believe it's working. And belief accelerates results. Manifestation isn't magic in the sense that it drops things into your lap without action. Instead, it arranges circumstances and nudges you toward aligned opportunities. But it's up to you to act when those opportunities appear. For example, you've been visualizing health, and suddenly you meet someone who mentions a new diet or healing practice. Act on it. You've been manifesting abundance, and you come across a freelance gig or business idea. Don't dismiss it. Explore it. You've been focusing on love, and you feel an intuitive nudge to message someone or go to a social event. Follow through. The universe opens the door, but you must walk through it. The 1 Ritual is your seed, but seeds don't grow if you plant them once and walk away. They grow when you water them daily and nurture the soil around them. Consistency keeps your energy aligned. Carrying the energy ensures you don't sabotage the vibration. Recognizing signs proves the process is unfolding. Acting on opportunities bridges the gap between the invisible and the visible. Do this every day, and soon, manifestation won't feel like a practice. It will feel like your natural state of living. Nothing inspires belief more than real stories of transformation. You can read about neuroscience, energy fields, and subconscious programming all day, but when you see someone just like you completely change their reality, it hits differently. That's why Joe Dispenza often says, the evidence is in the stories. 1. Joe Dispenza's students' transformations across the world. Thousands of people who follow Joe Dispenza's methods have reported life-changing results. Results that science once called impossible. Miracle healings. One woman arrived at a Joe Dispenza retreat in a wheelchair, suffering from years of chronic illness. Doctors had told her she'd never walk again. Yet, after consistently practicing the breathwork, emotional elevation, and visualization techniques, she stood up, on her own, shocking everyone, including herself. Within weeks, her body began responding as if new neural blueprints had replaced the old. Financial breakthroughs. Another man shared how he had been drowning in debt for years. Instead of focusing on lack, he shifted into a state of gratitude for already being abundant. Within 3 months, unexpected opportunities began flowing in, a business deal, a new partnership, and financial stability that once felt out of reach. Relationship success. Perhaps one of the most touching stories comes from individuals who had been longing for love. By practicing elevated emotions, feeling whole and loved before meeting someone, they stopped radiating neediness and started radiating completeness. In one case, a woman met her life partner just weeks after changing her inner state. She said, "I stopped searching for someone to complete me. Instead, I became complete, and he appeared." These are not isolated miracles, they're patterns. When people align thought and emotion in a coherent state, the body and the external world respond. I remember my own experiment with this practice. At first, I was skeptical. Could 1 minute of focus really shift anything? I had always believed that big results require big effort, so I tested it. I chose a simple intention, clarity about a decision I'd been struggling with. Every morning for 1 minute, I did the ritual, breathing in golden light, imagining the answer unfolding and releasing it with trust. By the 3rd day, something subtle shifted. My mind felt calmer, my body lighter. Instead of overthinking, I started noticing signs, random conversations pointing me in the right direction, articles coincidentally appearing at the perfect moment. On the 5th day, I woke up with absolute certainty about what to do. It wasn't forced, it was obvious. That experience taught me that the ritual isn't about bending reality instantly. It's about aligning yourself so that clarity, healing, opportunities, and synchronicities can reach you. Psychologists often talk about the 21-day rule. It takes about 3 weeks to form a new habit and rewire the brain for lasting change. In Joe Dispenza's framework, this timeline becomes even more powerful because you're not just creating a habit, you're creating a new identity. Here's how it compounds. Week 1 cracks in the old self. The first days feel subtle. You might not notice huge changes, but internally, the old neural patterns start loosening. You begin to feel slightly lighter, calmer, more aware of your thoughts. Week 2, the energy shift. By the 2nd week, emotions become easier to generate. Gratitude, joy, and wholeness don't feel forced anymore. They begin to flow. People around you might even notice. You seem different, more peaceful. Synchronicities begin to show up, nudging you forward. Week 3, the breakthrough. This is where momentum builds. What once felt like visualization now starts feeling like reality. Opportunities appear, healing accelerates, your new state of being becomes natural. By the end of 21 days, you're not trying to manifest, you're living as the person who already has. The compounding effect is like interest in a bank account. One day doesn't seem like much, but after 21 days, the results are undeniable. The greatest success stories, whether miracle healings, financial abundance, or love, aren't about getting something outside of us. They're about becoming someone new inside. When your inner state changes, the external must adjust. Joe Dispenza's students aren't exceptions. They're proof that when you practice the ritual with consistency, when you carry the energy into daily life, and when you trust the process, you unlock the same potential within yourself. And perhaps the most empowering part is this: these transformations don't require years of struggle. They can begin in just one focused minute a day. As we reach the end of this journey, I want you to pause and imagine this truth. On 10 September, just 1 minute could change everything for you. 1 minute of pure focus, 1 minute of elevated emotion, 1 minute of surrender could open the door to health, abundance, love, and transformation. But here's the secret. This practice isn't only about one date. Yes, 10 September is powerful because of the energetic alignment, the collective consciousness, and the amplified portal of change. But the real power lies in making this ritual a part of your daily life. When you commit just 60 seconds every morning to align thought and emotion, you begin rewiring your brain, expanding your energy field, and training your body to expect miracles. Consistency will always beat intensity. You don't need hours of meditation or endless effort. You simply need to show up every day, even if it's just for 1 minute, and the more you repeat this, the more natural it becomes. Soon, you're no longer doing a manifestation ritual, you're living as the person who already has what you desire. Remember, the universe doesn't respond to desperation, it responds to alignment. The more you embody gratitude, joy, and trust, the faster your external world mirrors that state. That's how people experience sudden opportunities, unexpected breakthroughs, and even spontaneous healings. So when 10 September arrives, take your 1 minute seriously. Treat it like a sacred appointment with your future self. And then, don't stop there. Carry this practice forward. Because every single day, you're given another chance to step into your power. Now, before we close, I want to leave you with this affirmation. Say it out loud with me, let it sink into your subconscious, and repeat it often. I am the creator of my reality. I choose to align with abundance, joy, and limitless possibilities. If you felt inspired by this teaching, if you believe in the power of energy and intention, I invite you to join this community of conscious creators. Like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this message, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future teachings on how to rewire your mind, expand your energy, and step into the life you truly deserve. And in the comments below, let me know, what will you focus on during your 1 minute ritual on 10 September? Writing it down not only sets the intention, but also strengthens the energy. Remember, your future isn't waiting for you somewhere out there. It's being created by you, right here, right now. All it takes is one decision, one elevated emotion, one sacred minute. Your life can change in a moment. Why not let that moment be now?